Hi guys, this is Umu from React to the K and welcome to my The Boyz KeePer 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 reaction produced by Park Kyung. I haven't heard the teasers, I haven't seen the teasers, so this is gonna be 100% surprise. Let's go. Toy airplanes! Ooh. Be funky. Oh, jazzy chord. Hello. Oh, it's slower than I thought it was gonna be. Oh, I love this already. We're just adding up textures. And I love how spacious the melody there. Okay, and now the sound is filled out a little bit more. This is one of those songs where everything is being driven by the vocals. Ah! Vocal slide, hello! Vocal slide with harmonies. I'm still not over it. Is this the pre-chorus? What is this, transition? Oh, okay, we're going a little bluesy. With a da-da-da-da. What's that? The main chorus or the verse? And this is a chorus? And someone's singing so freaking high! What the hell? Okay, I guess that was the chorus. So that means it started with the chorus? I feel like, I don't know, I feel satisfied when it drops into the chorus, but then I still feel like the song is building. But I'm pretty satisfied. Oh, that vocal layering was cool. Ah! Cool! They take everything out! Yes! Trap? Every section has a genre. And then we've got a jazzy piano. Chorus. It's like the pre-chorus. Changes vibes. And then we've got like some reggae drums and piano is just running eighth notes. I mean hitting eighth notes. Chords on eighth notes. But bridge. I love their harmonies. It sounds so real. Sometimes when you try to do harmonies more than just a triad, they just do it post-editing. But you can tell, you can hear every single timbre. You can tell they're doing it themselves during the recording sessions. Who that singing up there? Okay, that was adorable. Alright. Yeah, I honestly feel like there was a lot going on, but also not a lot going on. It was like kind of simple pop with blips of what in the world is happening? Stuff like that. So I'm gonna listen to this a few more times and then we'll move on to the review section of this video. Alright guys, time for the breakdown. So basically I'm just gonna be playing the song on my phone. I was about to say phone on my song. And reading you my notes and talk about, you know, what's going on instrumentally, harmonically, what is happening in the melody, what's happening with the beats, etc, etc. So, the beginning. For like 5 seconds, I thought that it might have not started with the chorus because the feel is so different. Even though the melody is the exact same between, you know, this intro and the chorus, I thought it was totally different until like, I listened to it back to back and I was like, okay, it's the same, but there are a few changes. So basically, this is the intro. I'm calling it. I'm not calling it chorus because the definition of an intro is basically, you know, how a movie starts. You're introducing the characters. It's laying out what the song is going to be like. And so with this intro, it's just the chorus, but not dumbed down, but thinned down to just voice and guitar. It's the same melody, same rhythm, same everything. Just one voice. Well, it's unison, it's layered, but they're singing the same exact note. One voice and guitar. There's so much space because the phrases in the melody goes da 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 da, and the guitar line is playing the same exact rhythm. So when there is space between, you know, two notes, there's space between two notes in the guitar, and we get silence, and so it feels kind of jolting almost. Guitar intro to oops, I also forgot to mention the percussion. So it's da 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 da. So the hi-hat, I don't know whether it's real or electronic, it's probably electronic, is being hit only on specific words in the melody, or I mean, you know, specific notes. Also, the fact that it isn't playing when there's silence, and it's emphasizing, I guess it's also helping with the phrasing, because it's da 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 da. It's also helping, like, you know, thicken the texture towards the end of each phrase, da da, except of course there's, like, you know, a overall bigger phrase going on. Ah! And then there's like little brr, brr, brr of snare, but then when intro part 2, no, I'm not gonna call it intro part 2, it's still intro, but when this melody is copied over to be sung a second time, an octave below joins in, the percussion comes in more frequently. Also, there is a lower bass drum added in, and yeah. Thicker texture. Transition. Verse 1. Okay, so with that transition, I'm just calling like little instrumental transition, even though there's a tiny bit of vocals. We introduce the bluesy piano and a new synth. So basically, we're starting off as thin as possible, and then as we're going from section to section or phrase to phrase, we're getting thicker and thicker texture, and it's nice contrast from the beginning. So with the first verse, when I was doing this, I was like, okay, so it starts off with this, and then I listened to more, and then it adds something else. So I was like, oh, it has this too. And then it kept going, and then this happens, and this happens. So basically, I'm just gonna summarize it and say, the texture keeps changing. They're keeping our interest by putting in instrumentals and taking them out. So like, it starts with just bass drum, voice, and guitar, but then, you know, the other members do like, duh, or start singing or something. And then there's also like this sound going on in the left channel or right channel. And yeah, so keep going until the vocals lad. Yeah, oh yeah! That's what they said. Okay, vocals slide. So those are actually parallel thirds. They're going, nah, it's D, E flat, it's going up a half step. And then ni is F sharp A, F sharp G. Yay, harmonies. And this is in the key of C, by the way. Alright, moving on to the trap bluesy pre-chorus. Not yet. It's halftime. Laid back. Yeah, so I was like, oh, bluesy. Well, you know why? Since we're in the key of C, and this is the note C. Well, na, na, na. So this part, you know how I said bluesy? Well, in the blues scale, the notes that make it sound so bluesy are mainly flat 6. So if in the scale we have 8 notes and it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 is moved down a half step, it's called flat 6, and then we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is moved down a half step and we call it sharp 4. And so those two notes, sharp 4 and flat 6, are known as the blue notes, mainly sharp 4. But they went da 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 da, which is flat 6, and that's why I said bluesy. Because it's out of the C major scale, and you don't expect them to go to that. Yay! Bluesy weirdness. Chorus changes up both times it comes back, actually. So first time it's just one voice and guitar and the drums sometimes. And it's very, very spacious. When it comes back this time, it's pretty darn spacious, but a slightly thicker texture. So the guitar part, again, is going with the vocal harmony. Drum, dum dum, drum, dum dum. And this time it's thicker because we also have the bass drum doing that stuff. And, you know, it's still kind of staccato, kind of accented. But of course, this time, when the melody comes around again, the guitar holds out its chords longer, and so it feels more tenuto, feels more connected. We don't have that space or jolting feeling. Rap break. Oh, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Transition. Okay, so the reason why I'm calling this a transition is because it comes after this chorus, but it doesn't come after the next one. And then it's used as the outro. So I'm calling it transition the first time and outro the second time, even though it's basically copy-pasted. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, so I was saying during the reaction part, I was saying, oh my god, someone's singing really high! An octave above the melody. I can't sing. But there's also someone there's someone singing pretty low too, so we have 3 different octaves singing the melody, and then the rest is unison in like the singable singing range. Rap break! So the reason why I'm calling this a rap break instead of a second verse is because the instrumentation, same instrument, but it's playing totally different melodic material. It's just on the offbeats. So if we're going 1, these are the downbeats. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The guitar is going those are the offbeats, and so that's what the guitar is playing, totally different from before, and then of course the rapping material is totally new too. Oh, but then on the downbeat is the bass, so we're still grounded. Pre-chorus stays the same, chorus stays the same. Oh, no, chorus is different, sorry, it has piano. This chorus, so our first chorus we have da 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 da. It's very, you know, spacious, and then it becomes not spacious. This one immediately is not spacious, and it has a piano going da 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 da. So it's different, yeah. Bridge. So with the bridge, they, again, thin out the texture to just guitar, piano, and bass, and then the high note, the high note leading up to the last chorus is harmonized, and I love when they harmonize high notes because they're more impactful that way. This one's harmonized in fifths, so we've got a D on top and an A below it. The intervals a fifth between. There's 5 notes in between those two. Of course they change the last drop to, they just start out with voice and guitar, you know, they thin out the texture once again. Thick texture! Outro! So I would call that a coda if it was totally new material, but since it's been used before, I'm calling it an outro. But feel free to correct me in the comments if you know pop music structure better than I do. So yeah, Thanks for watching my reaction review. See you guys later. Bye.